You wouldn't know it, however hard you look at the surface, and even many residents right here in town would never know that there is a 5.5-mile wide meteor impact crater right beneath the bustling city of Des Plaines, Illinois, with the center of the crater being somewhere between Big Bend Lake, which is where I am right now, and the intersection of Ballard Road and Bender Road, which is just a little ways that way. Roughly 280 million years ago, in the Permian period of the Paleozoic era, a meteor that is believed to have been about 200 feet in size smashed into the earth in what was then west central Pangaea. Regardless of whether it was 200 feet or a half mile, whatever it could have been, one thing's for certain, anything living in the area didn't fare so well in the time following. Also known as the Des Plaines disturbance, the crater first became noted when wells were being drilled in the area back in the late 19th century, when some of the deepest wells in the area couldn't find water at all, with the deepest of which being a whopping 1,600 feet deep. Eventually it was noticed that the disturbance in the aquifer followed a pattern, generally circular in size, with Big Bend Lake here being roughly at the center. The further into the circle you would go, the deeper the water was underground, and eventually at points some wells couldn't even find water at all. That discovery led to the crater being marked as a crypto-explosion structure, which is sort of technical speak for some sort of explosion within the earth, sort of similar to that of a volcano. Geographic and subterranean studies were performed on the area surrounding Des Plaines over time, and all of them turned up some pretty interesting finds around the Des Plaines area. One of which being a seismic study discovered that there is a very unique fault zone beneath the northern half of Cook County, which in itself is an interesting find. Generally circular fault matching perfectly with that of the crater that was noted with the aquifer disturbance, has multiple fault lines branching off of it outward, kind of like spokes on a wheel. It doesn't look that clean, but it generally could be pictured like that. And the mere existence of these faults suggests that something truly massive smashed into the earth with enough force to quite literally crack the crust of the very earth itself. Additionally, the discovery of shatter cones beneath this general vicinity circling Des Plaines has even further begged at the theory of this being a meteor impact site, due to the fact that only meteors are capable of inducing the earth to such extreme pressures to produce shatter cones within the bedrock of the earth. With all of this evidence put together, geologists could only conclude that a meteor was what impacted this area and left such an anomaly 280 million years ago. Now, unfortunately, 280 million years is a very long time to be exposed to the air and the environment, especially considering that this region of what was then Pangaea and soon after Laurasia and Laurentia, which then became North America, was a mucky swampland for many millions of years. And not helping the fact was the ice ages that followed, covering this area in glaciers, which filled the crater in with glacial till, which pretty much erased any signs of it from the surface, at least. But regardless of what's left of it today, the Des Plaines disturbance is always an interesting story to tell locals and any visitors in the area, many of which never suspect the great story that is lying right beneath their feet. Beware of meteors, my friends. And I appear to have somehow paced myself onto an island. Let's figure out how to get out of here.